Morning, everybody. Let's get motivated with Shia LaBeouf. Here we go. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. We're totally motivated now. Took inspiration from old Brandon. Nice. That's a good person to take inspiration from. I didn't know Brandon went to RCC. I knew he was on devs for many years. And he now teaches the snare line over there. But GG's. Glad to hear you got about 40 seconds of your solo in. Let's drum today. All right, so we're going to be primarily working on the Blue Devils 2000 shopping spree, which is one of the over 1,000 free play-alongs. Yesterday, I scheduled a bunch of videos that I had in the drafts, finalized them. There's currently 100, as of yesterday, there were 192 videos scheduled. If you're a member, you get early access to them. So this Blue Devils 2000 spree, you can play right now. I think this one comes out in November. All of those 192 videos are coming out for free for everybody, so stay tuned. Oh, yeah. Brandon marched for Academy. He lived... Well, I won't say where he lived, because I don't know if that's public knowledge. But yes, he lived in Arizona. I'll give you that broad of a category for that. All right, so we're going to warm up first. And we're going to warm up before we get into this Blue Devils 2000 shopping spree, which we're still learning how to play. We're going to play Chug variation. So I thought it'd be fun to just kind of warm up with a good one. So, well, they're all good ones, but you know. So we're going to do paradiddle diddles and paradiddles, not paradiddle fours, not that one, this one. The paradiddle fours one, that one's a pretty cool one. So it's especially fun with traditional. The paradiddle and then four stroke. It's just like you're throwing it in there to get those fours. If you're playing super, super fast, that's a good one. That's coming out, I think, in a week or two. I don't remember. Again, there's 192 of them scheduled, so stay tuned. All right, so this one, just like any of them, you go into the timestamps, you can jump to whatever BPM you want, and this one goes as slow as 20 beats a minute or as fast as 160 beats a minute. Let's just get the blood flowing. Let's do, 100? Let's see how that sounds. Turn up the volume, jam, pump it up. Coats are on fire? Yeah, so's Boston, though. I saw some scores, and they were outperforming Coats for percussion. I also saw that devs, lost their win streak, so that's interesting. Whoops. Brain fart. All right, just getting the blood flowing, then we'll stretch and massage, and then we'll get back into 2000 shopping spree. Now, if you don't want to wait until November when it comes out publicly, talking screws me up. There's a video from a couple days ago when I go from 40 to 60. You can just play along to that. A stream, that is. You don't have to get the membership. Wait, they tied? Oh, I didn't realize that. I hope they do, to be honest, Jay. They deserve it. As long as their pit's good, they'll be good. Because let's be honest, their battery has been throwing some notes down the last couple of years. It's been pretty impressive. Honestly, when I first saw them after like the lockdown and whatnot, and like DCI came back, I saw some lock clips and I was like, wait, what? Boston? Back in my day, they weren't that great. Okay, so we're going to hold our sticks. We're going to stretch massage now. We got the blood flowing a little bit. Pull in, push out. Yeah. Dev's tied with Boston. Interesting. So, typically speaking, this is just generally speaking, Blue Devils have had the hardest book out of most drum lines, except for, like, sometimes you'll get, like, well, actually, Seattle Cascades had the hardest book this year. And it's like, yeah, but they couldn't play that book. No offense. If you do traditional rotate and hold here, rotate and hold here. But in general, the cleanest line with the hardest book has traditionally been Blue Devils over the years. Like, we're talking decades because, you know, I'm ancient. We're going to stretch the underside. I'm going to do it here. But Blue Coats, because of Roger Carter, who used to march devs and used to teach devs, Blue Coats has also been throwing some notes down the last few years and has basically been like what the Blue Devils were in the late 90s and early 2000s with like a metal twist instead of like a jazz twist, which is what heavily influences devs music. So it's been really interesting to see that. But the Boston has been really throwing down some notes the last couple of years with their book, which has been really cool to see. And then obviously Vanguard like has been consistently very clean, heavily influenced by concert rep, even some like tabla music, like some of the rhythms that they'll end up playing is very like they're playing a tala, which is really cool. But they're just so clean. So it's cool to see people playing notes and also playing clean, or at least getting to the point of playing clean. We still got some time in the season. Thrilled to see the close matchups this year, unlike when everyone knew devs would win it all. I hear you. I mean, but there was 3 or 4 years in a row where Vanguard won? At least for high drums, that is. But yeah, I don't have a problem with like people winning nonstop. Kind of like Lewis Hamilton in F1. Dude is the GOAT. Like, GG's to him. He should have had that 8th world title. But, you know, that's just my opinion as an uninformed spectator. But now we got Max Verstappen, who is killing it. Or at least was. The last couple of seasons, or couple of races, he hasn't been doing as great. And Hamilton won. But one of them at least. And Norris. But yeah, I don't have a problem with devs winning nonstop. They are a phenomenal group that has phenomenal staff and phenomenal members and whatnot. So good for them. We're going to massage now. We're doing thumb on top, fingers underneath. Got to say I'm rooting for Blue this year. Red line center snare. I don't know them. I don't really, like, on Instagram, I follow nobody. No offense to anybody. On Twitter, I follow nobody. Basically, the only place where I actually, like, follow anyone or any organization is on YouTube. And that's so I can just, like, watch the content on there. But I try so hard to avoid social media platforms because you just get sucked into it. Like, TikTok knows that I have a fear of sharks. And it's like, hey, here's a shark. I'm like, thanks. I'm just trying to post a drumming tip. You don't need to try and suck me into that world. It also recently discovered that I enjoy drumline, which is weird because I don't watch TikTok. But now it's like showing me lock clips. I'm like, yeah, I gotta close this app or I'm just gonna watch lock clips all day. Which I actually prefer more than, like, if I were to do a hierarchy, lock clips is number 1. On the field clips of just like the battery is number 2. Kind of a close first and second. And then further down, number 3 would actually be like with the full ensemble. I honestly don't care about the full ensemble. Hot take. I don't want to hear the brass. Sorry. Not interested. Just want to hear all of the notes. Nothing being covered up by loud trumpet players who think they're the most important instrument on the field. Massaging here, massaging here. Trying to get relaxed. The stereotypes of arrogant trumpet players is true for a lot of trumpet players, unfortunately. But one can say the same thing about snare drummers. So... to each their own. Every instrument has a different stereotype. I used to teach band. And it was funny, like, when kids would break the stereotype. Like, oh, I want to learn how to play flute. It's like a young male. And then, like, a month into it, I don't want to play flute anymore. Well, why not? My friends keep calling me a girl. Okay. Okay, you can play whatever instrument you want. Which is why I'd, like, model on, like, all sorts of instruments. Like, I'd constantly be playing flute and whatnot. Just to be like, hey, anyone can play any instrument. We're massaging base of the tip of the fingers. Wow, I look like a ghost in the overhead. There we go. When you're beginning, you never appreciate the field clips. Yeah, I mean, the lock clips are just... it's so good. And for, like, people who are interested in, like, making money on YouTube, which a lot of people come in, like, asking specifically, because, like, YouTube is the main hub where I store, like, all the play-alongs and whatnot. Like, a lot of people ask, like, how much money I make and, like, what to do to get started in streaming, blah, 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 blah. If you're into drumming and you want to be able to have, like, a good return on investment or a good return on your energy and time, lock clips is so much easier than any of these play-alongs. They can go more viral, they're shorter, they're easier to edit. They can often just be, like, a single take. You just trim off the ends and the beginnings, and then you're good to go, etc. So some of these people who post lock clips can literally get millions of views, especially like the GoPro cams, where there's the overhead for like tenors or like this for the snare or whatever. Like, you can get so much engagement from that, which is great. Happy to see people able to monetize this passion. Like back in my day, it was nearly impossible to make money unless you're just teaching. That's basically it. Teach privately. Didn't have the option to post clips. There's even some cores that, like, were saying it's illegal to post our lock clips and whatnot. It's like, wait, what? You're in a public space. That's not illegal. Hate to break it to you. Like, there were some places that got shut down, some content sites. Thankfully, they chilled out. If I remember correctly, and again, this was like 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure Blue Devils is one of those places where they're just like, nope, you can't post any lock clips of anything we do. And then eventually the cores wised up and were like, actually, this is promoting our core. People want to watch these clips, and then they see how good we are, and then they're like, oh, we should join that core. All right, one more rep. Just chopping out with it, and then we're gonna go to Blue Devils 2000. I don't like that it like completely closes it and I have to open it all over again. Come on, TubeU. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Do it! Look at this. So here's why I'm laughing. My stick, it went to that far down, like it was just slowly sliding the entire time. That was hard to play. All right, let's do this. Can I show the flam accent ghost notes backsticking? You're trying to do that for your solo? Oh, yeah. Happy to. Okay, so for people who are not familiar with it, so ghost notes are little tiny notes. So like if you're playing on drum kit and it's like grace note height, those are the ghost notes. Not just like tap height, but like that. On drum kit, that's a ghost note. But you can play a ghost accent on like snare drum, so. You just stop your stick right before you're gonna play. However you're gonna play. So a ghost flam drag. It just sounds like that, but you're playing the accent, the ghost accent. And to do the backsticking, you go see backstick. Like this. So you're faking the accent. So practice that slow, and you can put that in your solo. But yeah, those are fun. Anyways, whoops, wrong pedal. Okay, so we're going back to the website. Again, this one is currently members first, which is just early access. It's scheduled to release in November. We've got a free play along releasing daily between now and like the end of December, so stay tuned for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 40 to 80, jumping up by 5s, and then once we get to 80, we're going to start going by 1s. I'm pretty sure that's where I left off. Let me actually double check real quick. Yes. All right, pulling up. Boop.
A bunch of books up here. Wow.
Okay, so this one talking about sight reading at the start of that. And yeah, okay, so we left off at 80. Cool. Just double checking. Oh, and it's, there. All right, so this is the 2000 Blue Devils Shopping Spree. I'll make a full screen so you can see it a little bit better. It goes in 3-4-5 pattern for groupings. 3, 4, 5. I really wanted to ghost stroke that accent. Oops. Totally screw up the sticking. Sorry. Unsub. I know, I get it. I'm intentionally avoiding the shots because there's a bunch of them on the last line in particular, and I just don't want to screw up my sticks. I love these extra heavy sticks.
Sweet.
Let's go up by 5. 45. Wire flam exercise called shopping sprees. Where did it originate from? Oh, so funny story. Sort of. So actually, I'll show you. So here is where this comes from. So it's the Blue Devils Book of Drumming with Scott Johnson and percussion staff there. So one of the things that they have in here, one of the exercises, is the Blue Devils 1997 shopping spree. And inside of it, in the like notes, they talk about the origin of shopping spree. So shopping spree came from the idea of you are shopping for harder notes. And so it, typically speaking, would have check, drag, check, cheese, check, 5, and then anything after that was just kind of like up to you. But then they started doing some weird stuff like the one that we have right here, which has check, drag, check, cheese, check, 5, but it's like in this 3, 4, 5 pattern, and it's all like goofy and whatnot. So where this came from is a snare solo apparently called Hero Sandwich, and I forget who played it, but the inspiration of the shopping spree was inspired by that snare drum solo, and then it just kind of became a tradition. Usually members of the drumline would kind of come up with their shopping spree, and they just kind of figure it out on the bus. Like, here's what we're going to play in the lot, just kind of showcase what we can do. But that's where it came from. So there's other exercises that are rudiment exercises like Susie or Chicago Book Report, which is both of those are in the Chop playlist, etc., that are like flam based or slow paradiddle or float drags. Those are technically not shopping sprees. The shopping sprees technically follow this check, drag, check, cheese, check, 5 pattern, which, because that's been ingrained in most shopping spree lore and history and whatnot, when Vanguard started playing Cheezy Poofs by Murray Gussick, which there's play-alongs for that in the Chop exercises as well, or Chop playlist, they do it as check, cheese, check, drag, check, 5, and people will complain about it. Like, you're not doing it in the right order. And Murray's like, why does it need to be in one way and not the other? So, random drumline lore for you. Good question. But yeah, the reason why I know this is because of this very worn-in, discontinued book that I bought in high school by Scott Johnson. Actually, Roger Carter's in here as well. We were just talking about him. Anyways, let's play this. Three, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. This is where it changes the pattern a bit in 5, 3, 4. Otherwise, it keeps that pattern going through most of it. Speaking of poofs, I just got it consistent. Nice. Yeah, practice slow. That's how you develop that consistency. Yeah, so I write all of these. Every single play along. All 1,000 plus of them. I write them out in Sibelius. And it takes forever. Like I was telling somebody on Reddit the other week that one of the play alongs that I made took more than 80 hours just to create that single play along. Not including the exporting time, which was several hours. And it's made 2 cents. We're rich. 2 cents in AdSense, that is, on YouTube. So, you know, more people use it, I might make like $1. Maybe in the next decade off of that. Woo-wee! Hello, person I don't remember. Let's go to 55. No, not 51. 55. Thank you for the like on TubeU. Okay, here we go. What software do I use? It's called Sibelius. You can only do the flam accent one, not the cheese one. Hey, slow it down. We got play-alongs for it. Comparatively, whatnot, very rich. The fact that I'm able to do this and spend that much time on something and make 2 cents off of it is a privilege. So I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for many things in our lives, my wife and I, and finances is one of them. I would not be able to do this if we weren't doing all right. Again, once we get to 80, we'll start going by ones, but for right now, we're just jumping by 5. So 60 now. Whoop. Yeah. And I know that eventually it'll be a source of passive income, but right now it's not worth it. So like right now, it's... Okay, so as an example, so in that play along that I made that was 80 hours, more than 80 hours that it took to make just one play along, it was 8,000 pages in Sibelius, like 8,400 and something pages. It took several hours just to export it as a video, and it has made 2 cents on AdSense. The job I left, I was an educational consultant, and my hourly rate was $250 an hour, minimum. So that return on investment, not very good compared to what I was doing, but I'm enjoying this more. I hated doing that other stuff. It was boring. And, you know, people suck. Now, I get to make fun content. And it helps the community out. I'd rather make very little money and enjoy life than make a lot of money and not enjoy life. Life's too short. And the thing that helped me realize that was like friends dying, colleagues. They put their whole life into a career, and then something like cancer takes everything away. Life's too short. Threes are a little inconsistent. Okay, 65. I kind of want to just keep this up. Let's keep it up until I get to 80, so that way I don't have to keep closing and opening and whatnot. And then when we get to 80, we'll start going by 1 BPM. And I'll close it. Makes it a little smaller for you. Go to 70. Click. You ever see yourself quit YouTube and go back to jobs? No. So, for a lot of reasons, I don't want to ever work for anyone else ever again because of the previous organization that I was with. There was so much drama going on the back end. And I was like a director of education and research. So like I knew a lot of things that the rest of the staff did not know was going on. And to see that that's how like nonprofits work, corporations work this way as well, higher education works this way as well. I was just like, I don't want to work for people again. If this is this is what is like going on behind the scenes, no, I'm good. But I have no clue where I will be in 5 years from now and what I will want to do. So, for example, I have a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in music education. And then I taught computer science education for a decade and went into nonprofit work where I made computer science education content for teachers and students, millions of them literally around the world. Didn't expect to go that direction after finishing a doctorate in music education. And now I'm a YouTuber. Like, it's very weird. So I can't predict where I'm going to be in life. But when I do the gaming streams, which I'll do here in like less than an hour, I do not swear on those, and I do not talk about controversial issues that would get like a lot of engagement. And one of the reasons why is because one of the jobs that I turned down to become a YouTuber was a computer science education professor. I could do that, and I could also be a music education professor if I wanted to. So I might want to go back and do that in the future. But at the moment, I don't want to ever work for anyone ever again. If you want to get your double strokes really clean, should I practice slowly and go up by 1 BPM? Yeah, there's actually a lot of ways that you can do that. Since you're on YouTube, let me show you. That's a really good question. Okay, so under the home tab, so we're on my channel right here. If you go to the home tab, we've got the drumming, the gaming, the computer science stuff like organized here. If you just click on the header for this, it shows you all of the drumming playlist and whatnot. This one right here will give you a ton of tips, like literally several hours of tips on how to improve your drumming and whatnot over time. So there's a lot of tips on like how to improve your diddles, but the videos that say members first are scheduled to release publicly. Excuse me. So those will come out for free soon. So stay tuned for that. But in terms of actual exercises, you could just sit there and practice like rolls and go up like 1 BPM at a time. Another thing you could do is like practice on something soft like a pillow. So you can like work on getting that second note stronger. Another thing that you can do is practice with heavy sticks. Like these are the Hardeman hammers. So they are chopsticks. They're extra heavy. That's what I do all my streams with. Another thing that you can do underneath the technique playlist is you could work on an exercise like fast, slow, fast, or slow, fast, slow. So this will start off at like, let's say you are doing fast, slow, fast. You'll start off at like 100 beats a minute, and then it'll slowly slow down 1 click at a time every 4 beats, all the way down to 40, and then it'll slowly speed it back up all the way back to your starting tempo. And then slow, fast, slow is the opposite of that, where it starts slow, it gradually speeds up, and then it gradually slows back down. So you can work on extended roll endurance through that one. But diddle strength is a phenomenal exercise for working on like your overall strength of the second note in particular. So this, in the description of this video, it talks about how when you're playing this, the accents are about 3 inches higher than your taps in this scenario. So you'll play, and then you're basically emphasizing the first note, and then you're emphasizing the second note, and then you play it with both hands, and then you do it off the left, and then you do it with both hands. So this makes it so that you have a strong second note of your diddle, rather than just having it so that your rolls sound like this, where you got a really high first note, and then your tap is really low. So that's a phenomenal exercise to work on for that. Some other ones that are really good for this, diddle flow is also a good one. Diddle timing is a really good one to work on your double strokes. That'll help you with the interpretation of it, so that way you're not like accidentally playing with a rushed or a slurred out interpretation. Roll timing is also a phenomenal exercise. And then basically everything that you see on this particular screen, all the triplet diddles, the 16th note diddles, and the inverted versions of those are phenomenal for working on your rolls. Another really good one is isolated diddles, this particular exercise. When you're playing through it, you play it on the right. This is the abbreviated version. Both hands. Left. Etc. So all on the left on both hands, and then you play roll at the end. So this is making it so you can hear the notes together, so you don't have like my right hand diddle sounds like this and my left hand diddle sounds like this. So this is a really good exercise for that. And then these are coming out this month, but the doubles to singles are some phenomenal exercises to work on. So stay tuned for those. They're coming out, I think, next week. Maybe the week after. So stay tuned. There's also these dynamic roll variations. I think those come out in like August or September. Again, members first just means it's early access. All these are going to come out. So that's a ton of exercises just in this playlist alone that can help you with your diddles. Another thing that you can work on is underneath, again, home tab, drumming content, are grid variations that specifically focus on diddles. So if we go down a little bit into the grid variations here, we have diddle variations for triplet. There's 56 videos in here specifically for diddle grid variations. And then for the 16th note, there's 73 videos right here. Now, again, because YouTube is like not the best place to find everything organized, like all the drumming, gaming, computer science stuff are organized here. But if you go to the video tab, like good luck, you're not going to find anything ever. So what I do recommend going, since you're on the vertical feed, is right here, /drum on my website, or under the links section is the very first link. It just takes you to my website, which has the 1,000+ play alongs for free. So all 53 chop exercises organized nice and neatly here. All of the 36 timing exercises for limb independence. All of the 55 drum charts are here. The 372 triplet grid variations. The 514 16th note grid variations. The 117 technique exercises. And the 166 marching bass exercises. And all the tips and whatnot. So that is a very long-winded answer of that's how you can work on your double strokes, is using these different exercises to work on that. And they're all free. Again, members first are scheduled to release publicly, so stay tuned. Okay, anyways, I just talked a lot. Let's play this. I think we're at 70 now? Yeah. You're very welcome. Keep it up. It's consistent practice over an extended period of time, which you see how I practice in these streams. If you have more questions, come back on future streams, and I'm happy to point you to some exercises, answer the question, or even create new exercises that'll help answer that question. these like VODs will stay up on my YouTube channel. You can actually find them underneath the tips section right here. This is a playlist of all the VODs. So you can see what my answer was just by going to this particular spree, or this particular VOD, rather. So you can remember, here's the exercise. Oh, where was that other one? Oh, that's where it was. But hopefully that helps. Don't forget, never back down, never give up. Just think of Nick A30. I guess one of the things that I kind of glossed over is inverted diddles are really weird looking, but if you like sit there and work on it, it really helps with the second note of placing that diddle. Whoops. Talking screws me up. So definitely check out those versions. So like triplet diddle, that's normal. Now the inverted version sounds the same, but it kind of looks like a puttada sticking. So check those play-alongs out if you haven't already. Those are some good ones to work on. But speaking of working on, we're now at 80, so let's go by ones so we can close the description of this video and you can see it better. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that it's helpful for you. Many more to come. Scheduled 192 videos already. And more to come. Got a long list. Oh, had it mismemorized. I started playing, I think, this measure. Kind of weird playing that last line so slow like this. Based on time, I want to at least be able to get to 90, maybe even to 3 digits. Whoa! We'll see. Some excellent questions in the chat, by the way, today. Whoa! Early, late. I like this spree. I think I like 99 better. 1999 shopping spree, that is, for Blue Devils. But they're both good. Yeah, so I had a little hiccup there on that last line because I started to play like a paradiddle diddle and I was like, no, it's a 3-stroke. Nice. No! Sing about something else. My bad. Okay, let's take a look at this. How much time would it take to do 10 more clicks? Okay, so 7 minutes. Let's do it. Ish. Eventually, we'll get it up to 200. Probably not. That was weird. Yeah. A few more reps. Nice. Some water. Hurry up, Jared, before it tops off, okay? Stay hydrated. That was weird. Nice, only 5 more reps. more reps. And then we'll chop out with something. What? I don't know. Wanted to add it in an extra note. I had to like stop myself. Ew. Sweet. Last rep at 100. Yay! We made it. And then we'll chop out, and then I'll get ready for some Spider-Man 2. We did it! Yay! We graduated. So again, this is linked on my website, /drum. It's under the chop stuff. If you don't want to go there, that's fine. Go to the home tab of YouTube, and you can find all the playlists there. But it's Blue Devil's 2000 Shopping Spree. Let's see. We played 99 Shopping Spree last time, I think. What do I want to play today? Let's chop out with Cheezy Poofs. So there's 4 versions of Cheezy Poofs. The normal, cheese, drag, 5. And when you play this, it doesn't show the entire bit of the sheet music. And that just has to do with copyright issues. It was created with permission by Murray Gussick. So yes, we do have permission to create this. But because they sell their music, we don't show the whole thing. Make sure you go to tap space, which is linked at the top of the screen, of the description. This is the flam drag version. Let's go faster. 45. Make it a little bit bigger. $150. I don't know what the breaking points are going to be today. Maybe 160. Maybe 200. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Thank you for the like on YouTube. 155. Again, this exercise is found under the Chops playlist. There's 53 Chop videos in that playlist on the home tab. Ew. What happened? I gotta stop the rim shots. I don't want to break these sticks. They're the Hardeman hammer, so they're extra heavy. But when I got them from Steve Weiss, there's send me the heaviest pair you've got, and they did it. I love them. Ending got a little wonky. Okay, let's try it at 165. We're trying to find the breaking point. Just chop out. Have fun at the end of the practice stream. Recommend you do it at end of yours as well. Wait, why did it close that? Why'd you do that? YouTube. Do you need a nap? Alright, 170. This will probably be the breaking point. If my forearms burst into flames, you'll know why. My thumb came off. Unacceptable. It just hit the ejection seat button. It's all right, we see where this is going. Goodbye. Left my right thumb to just kind of suffer through it. Let's try it again. 175. Oh yeah, this is great. That was the alternative ending that few people know about, but you can find it in Fresh Perspectives by Murray Gussick. Again, so the full sheet music, if you want to get it, in the description. It's at the very top. It's the very first link. Get the music. It takes you to Tap Space. If you are on YouTube and you want to stay on YouTube, click on my name. Go to the Home tab, not the Video tab. We've got literally over 1,000 drumming play-alongs. Don't go there. You're not going to find them. And we've got like 3,000 or 4,000 shorts. Don't go there. What you want to do is go down to the drumming content right here. Or, you know, if you like the gaming and the computer science stuff, you can do that. But click and expands. Here's several hours of drumming tips. People ask questions on these streams. I provide some answers. You can find them all on this playlist. Literally several hours for free. I've studied with some of the best people in the world. Quite literally. Like Jeff Queen, 4-time world champion snare drummer. Got a couple lessons from him. Got lessons from his instructors. Blah, 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 blah. So lots of good tips here that I paid a lot of money for. You can get for free. 117 technique exercises. 53 chop exercises. That's where you'll find the Cheezy Poofs variations. We've got 166 marching bass exercises, 514 16th note grid variations, 372 triplet grid variations, all of the prior live streams. So if you want to see how I practice, just go to this playlist and you can see all of that. I include timestamps inside of it so you can see what I'm working on, how I work on it, blah, 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 blah. If you like these kind of sessions, stop by in the future, ask some questions. But the easiest way to go and find everything is linked at the top of the screen, /drum on my website. We've got all the chop, all the limb independence, all the grid variations, all the technique, all the marching bass, and all the lessons neatly organized. Go to /gear or click on this link, the stick control one, and then I'll show you some books that I recommend. These are affiliate links, so I get about 4% back from Amazon, so thank you, Amazon. And thank you for the people who've used this. If you're going to buy a large product like a TV off of Amazon, click on one of these links first, and then I get 4% back at no extra cost to you. Here are the 6 I'm using, the Hardeman hammers. I appreciate you all stopping by. Some excellent questions today. I'm going to tear this thing down and get ready for some Spider-Man 2. But we should be back on tomorrow morning with some more drumming streams, so stay tuned for more of that. But again, I appreciate you all. If you're using the play-alongs, by the way, so one of the regulars, Snowy, had a great idea of putting how fast they played and what they played on something in the comments on a play-along. So, like, I think it was a flam drag on one grid. And then I went from like 40 to like 90 beats a minute on this date. If you comment that kind of stuff, one, that helps the algorithm, so it makes it so YouTube will actually make it so I make more than 2 cents on these videos. Woo, pennies. Literally. But two, it also makes it so that you can like keep track of your progress and see over time, oh, I've actually sped this one up, etc. So it's a great idea by Snowy. But I'm going to call it. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday or whatever day it is for you when you're watching this. And goodbye.